Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to The Mixer, the segment on this channel where I give you guys all sorts of detailed information about different walks of life, I talk about science and nature and animals and sports, entertainment, pop culture, music, all that kind of thing, That's why it's called The Mixer, because I like to mix it up, And speaking of mixing it up, today's video is going to be the first of its kind. I am moving into uncharted territory, I'm really excited to try this new format, but I'm also nervous because it's a lot of information to get through and hopefully I don't mess anything up, You guys may have noticed that I have been, doing more soccer related videos because I started playing FIFA 22, and recently I did a player profile on Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo. Good Lord, what was that? Somebody just drove by my gate and honked. The original Ronaldo from Brazil, called the Phenomenal, and that video was a little frightening to me because I tried to do kind of like a little biography of sorts, and even though I tried my best to sum it up as much as I could, that damn thing still clocked in at 42 minutes long, and that was really scary. And when I was coming up with the idea of doing a video talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, which I was going to do because my very last video was playing FIFA 22 with him in Manchester United, so I figured, hey, what better way than to top that off with a video about him, But when I put in my research and tried to make like a script of sorts for the video, I saw that it was probably going to be at least an hour long or more because Cristiano has done a lot more in his career than the original Ronaldo did, so it was going to be way too long of a video. So I got the idea to do something a little bit more condensed, which hopefully will still be enjoyed by you guys. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know who Cristiano Ronaldo is, even if you're not a big fan of sports, but he's kind of like the kind of athlete who transcends sports in a way, and he has broken many records during his career with different big clubs in Europe, but notably most recently he scored his 800th senior career goal, which is quite an amazing feat, because he is the only player in his career to have done so, the only player in the history of the sport to score 800 goals or more, and he did that over a series of many games. And right now, Cristiano has a total of 1,121 games played officially across club and country, official matches, and he has scored 815 goals across all of the clubs that he's played for and the Portuguese national team, and that is really frightening. That gives him a ratio of 0.73 goals per game, man. That is freaking crazy. And getting more into that, he is also a very accurate goal scorer because he has scored 144 penalties throughout his career, and he sits right now at a very comfortable conversion rate of 83% when it comes to penalties, so from the spot he very rarely misses, he's actually missed I think 29 or so, whether it's penalties or free kicks. And also, many of his goals actually are clumped up together in groups, so he might score braces, which is 2 goals in one game, or hat-tricks, which is 3, and he has a total of 60 hat-tricks in his career right now, so 60 times, 60 different games he has scored 3 goals, or more. But I'm pretty sure that a hat-trick refers to 3 goals precisely, so in 60 different occasions he has scored 3 goals. And what I'm going to do today for you guys is give you kind of like a bit of an analysis, going over the goals that he scored in his career, because he actually has quite a few different records related to goal scoring, because in the UEFA Champions League he actually holds the record right now for the most appearances, the most goals, and the most assists, Same thing with other European championships, but we don't have to get into that right now. And also he is the highest goal scorer, for national games with the Portuguese national team, which we're going to cover a little bit later. So now, among his many career accolades, I'm going to briefly mention what he won for some of the teams. I'm pretty sure you guys know that he has won individually 5 Ballon d'Or awards and 4 European Golden Shoes, but that's not what we're going to focus on today. We're actually going to talk about how his goals were broken down across his clubs, starting with Sporting CP, back in Portugal, where he actually began his career, and he actually played there from 2002 to 2003, and he did not have a very impressive, performance there, because he actually scored 5 goals in 31 appearances, throughout his time there, which is really not a lot, but he was just starting off his career. He was just a teenager playing for the senior team, However, when you break it down, 3 of those goals were in 25 Primeira Liga, which is their main continental championship there, So pretty much a hat-trick of goals there. He didn't score a single goal in the 3 different European competitions that he played, in, you know, but he did score 2 goals in 3 National Cup appearances. So not a lot of goals there, but we all know that Cristiano became Cristiano when he made the move to England, you know. But before that, let's take a look at a goal here, or just a random moment from his time at Sporting.
Cristiano Ronaldo, excelente recepção. Ali João Pinto de novo a pedir a bola. Estava a devolução para Cristiano Ronaldo. Rochenbach. Fez muita força para o passe do brasileiro.
Imprevisibilidade, jogador de qualidade. Cristiano Ronaldo, velocidade, continuidade.
Yeah, those were the days, huh? Those are the days, the show pony days, you know, before he would become one of the greatest athletes in the history of athleticism. Oh, little did we know what he would achieve in the next phase of his career, you know? So anyway, in 03, Sporting CP actually played against Manchester United, you know, in the inauguration of this new stadium called José Alavade, you know, and they won on that occasion 3-1, and Alex Ferguson, who was the coach for United at the time, was very interested in Cristiano, such that United signed him, and that's where he began his illustrious career for Manchester United, you know, of England, the mighty Red Devils, and he played there from 2003 until 2009, you know. And now here's the thing, in case you guys don't know, if you've been living under a rock or something, he did recently come back to United last year in 2021, so the next category of stats here I'm going to bunch together his first time there and also his new stint here, you know, when he came back recently. So all, in total, Cristiano scored 142 goals in 330 appearances for Manchester United across his first time there and also his re-debut recently. He actually scored his 100th Premier League debut recently in a loss to Arsenal, I think it was. I saw this game live, you know. I'm pretty sure it was either this or his 800th career goal. I'm pretty sure it was in this one where he scored his 100th, you know. So when you break those goals down, you know, a total, you know, across all of his appearances there, he has scored 102 goals in 226 Premier League appearances, you know, and that is a lot of goals, you know. Even before he came, you know, back to United, actually, before he came back, he had actually, on that occasion, you know, from 03 to 09, he had actually scored, I believe it was 118 goals, you know, but not just in the Premier League, but in general, you know, which is actually interesting, because just, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy how you can score that many goals in England, because it's one of the hardest places for you to score goals, man. But anyway, so a little bit more, breaking down that a little bit more, you know, because Cristiano actually scored 22 goals in 60 Champions League appearances, you know. So the UEFA Champions League is the highest tier championship in all of Europe, you know. That's kind of the big one. That is the trophy that every single player wants in their resume, you know. So pretty impressive. And also 17 goals in 39 National Cup appearances, you know, because in England there are different competitions. There are the National Cups, the domestic cups, you know, the Emirates FA Cup, there's the Premier League, you know, there might be the Carabao Cup, you know, different kinds of cups, you know. There are more cups than leagues, you know. And also he scored just 1 goal in 2 Club World Cup appearances, you know, which is basically what happens when the winner of back then at least, you know, the winner of the UEFA Champions League would go on to play the winner of the Copa Libertadores here in South America, you know. So on 2 different occasions he went there and he scored a goal, you know. So now a lot of the goals that he scored were the main driving force for United being so successful throughout the mid and late 2000s, you know, because they won 3 Premier Leagues in a row because of Cristiano, you know, from 2006 until 2009, you know, and also he won the Champions League, you know, in the 07-08 season. So he knew what he was doing, man. Cristiano scored so many goals. Looking at different replays, you know, you can see just how many goals he scored. And because a lot of the time, even though he started off his career as kind of like a show pony doing a bunch of skills and tricks, you know, and getting past the opposition very little, he would eventually forge himself into much more of an offensive striker. And he actually won the FIFA Puskas Award. I believe he won the first one, the inaugurated one, you know, for this goal that he scored, I believe, against Fulham. That was from like 40 yards out, you know. He was also a master of free kicks, taking free kicks nobody has scored before, you know, because when he put on that number 7, man, we're talking about a legacy, you know. Before him there was, you know, David Beckham, Eric Cantona, Paul Scholes, and George Best, and many years before, you know. So he really put on that 7 and gave it even more of an identity, you know. So yes, Cristiano for United was absolutely unbeaten, man, you know. So he did come back. When he came back recently, he still played well, but it doesn't even match, will not be anywhere close to what he did back in the day, you know. And speaking of back in the day, we are going now to look at a goal here from his days, well, his first days, you know, a bit of an older goal from Manchester United.
Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Saha waits inside the area. Ronaldo goes alone, and Ronaldo wins the match for Manchester United. 87 minutes played, and Ronaldo runs straight over to Gary Neville.
What a goal, huh? What a freaking goal. Now, buckle up, guys, because we're going to get to the big one. The biggest statistical category here, because this is where Cristiano spent the most amount of time in his career when he joined Real Madrid in Spain, you know. And that was, honestly, that was where he really truly became the Cristiano Ronaldo that we all know and love today. He played there from 2009 to 2018, you know, where he went on to score even more goals in games played with 450 goals and 438 appearances in total, you know. And this is where he broke many records, you know, won even more Ballon d'Ors, and in my personal opinion, you know, was much better than Messi, although you can argue that Messi was much better, you know, as a team player, and Cristiano was much better individually, but that's probably a topic for another video, you know. Let's break down his goals at Real Madrid, shall we? So 311 of those goals were in 292 La Liga appearances, you know, which is the Spanish national championship, you know, played with the other teams, you know, 38 games across the entire season, you know, and also 105 of those goals were in 101 Champions League appearances, you know, again, the UEFA Champions League, and he was a bit more successful here, you know, than in United. We're going to get to that later. And also he managed to score 2 goals in 2 European Super Cup appearances, you know, so Real Madrid is a top tier club, and, you know, you usually play in the European Super Cup, you know, the UEFA Super Cup, when you're kind of not too good. I don't really remember what the requirements are, but it's not the same as, like, you know, the Champions League, you know, it's kind of like a lower tier club. That's why he only showed up in 2 of them. And he also has 26 goals in 37 National Cup appearances, which is like the Copa del Rey, you know, like the main cup there that they serve as they play parallel to La Liga. And also, remember the FIFA World Cup that he played in a few times in United? Well, here he scored 6 goals in 6 different FIFA Club World Cup appearances, you know, so that pretty much gives him a goal per game if he scored, you know, in each single one, you know, but he might have scored a brace or hat-trick in a few. So, and this is where he won the main bulk of trophies in his career, because with Real Madrid, he won 2 La Liga titles and also 4 UEFA Champions Leagues, 3 of which were consecutive, which is really unprecedented, you know. This guy knows how to win, man, aside from other individual awards as well, you know, breaking so many goal scoring records along the way, and he would eventually go on to become the highest scorer for Real Madrid in their history, I believe, with 412 goals, you know. And he did have a few records related to La Liga, you know, hat-tricks and goals and assists, but I'm pretty sure that since then Messi has broken all of them, you know, because Messi played for Barcelona for much longer than Ronaldo played for Madrid, so I'm pretty sure Messi has broken some of his records right by now, you know. Messi does have the most amount of goals scored for one club, but that's a topic for a different video when I talk about Messi, inevitably, because I'm gonna have to, if I do a video on Cristiano, I gotta do one about Messi. That's just inevitable. I gotta do something about these goddamn motorcycle bastards there, you know. But anyway, so at Real Madrid, Cristiano became such a dead ball specialist, scoring, and he was pretty much the primary penalty kick taker and scored so many free kicks, you know. This is around the time that I started to get into the sport, so I saw many games on TV. I saw him breaking records. I saw him scoring such amazing long shot goals, you know. Even though, unfortunately, he had kind of a reputation for being kind of a hothead and a little arrogant, but it was just a competitiveness, you know. And he did actually break a record just by going to Real Madrid, because he broke the transfer record, you know, when he signed for 94 million euros, which is freaking insane, you know. Up until that time, I believe Kaká had the most expensive transfer, you know, and since then, you know, other players would break that record, you know. Cristiano himself when he went to Juventus, but that's coming up next, you know. I do believe that right now the most expensive player in the world is Neymar, you know. So yes, man. Cristiano at Real Madrid, what are you gonna do? And those Los Blancos, you know, Spain never knew what hit them when he came to town. So many goals, so many assists, so many records, you know, I love it so much. And we are going to now take a look at a goal that he scored for Real Madrid before moving on.
Here's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's getting ready to shoot. Oh, that's the result. It's a rip-roaring effort by Cristiano Ronaldo. The man just doesn't let up. Another brilliant goal. Such power, such accuracy. The goalkeeper barely blinked and it was past him.
Yes, yes, feast your eyes on the goals. You know, you guys might be thinking, how was I able to filter out so many goals in Real Madrid to put here in this clip, right? Well, it's because I had to filter through so many of them on YouTube, you know, that didn't have logos or copyright, you know, or music or this, that, or the quality wasn't crap, you know. It took a while, but I got it, so please just appreciate it for what it is, you know. But anyway, despite so much success over in Spain, Cristiano decided to leave after his contract expired, you know. Had nothing at all to do with Neymar going to PSG and making more money than he did. You know, always the egomaniac, good old CR7, right? So he decided to go over to Italy and join Juventus, you know, for a record-breaking, staggering, astonishing, unbelievable 100 million euros. My God, man, that's a lot of cash. I don't even know how the hell they got that much money in the first place to bring him over, you know. But anyway, he would go on to play for them from 2018 to 2021, you know, so not a lot of seasons there, but he did still break quite a few, not records, but, you know, goal scoring barriers, because he actually scored 101 goals in 134 appearances in total, you know. And when we break down those appearances and goals there, you can split them up into 81 goals and 98 Serie A appearances. You know, Serie A is the Italian championship, and he actually won 2 in a row, you know, from 2018 to 2020. So yeah, he spent 3 seasons there and won 2 different championships, you know, so that is freaking crazy. And also a cup, you know, a Copa and Super Copa, you know, those things there, you know. So also he scored 14 goals in 21 Champions League appearances, you know. So again, the UEFA Champions League, you know, which he did not win, you know, with Juventus. But, you know, I don't think the team around him really helped a lot, you know. But still, he at that point had collected quite a few silverware in the Champions League. Also, I don't think he really cared anyway. So then he also scored 6 goals in 12 National Cup appearances, you know. So like I said before, the Italian Super Copa, you know, the Super Cup, you know. Cristiano actually, I think, did really well for himself in Italy, despite playing in a league where the defense is crazy, you know. Dude, the defensive strategies of the Italians are crazy, you know. Ever since like the 80s and 90s, their defense was so hard to break through, you know. It's really hard for you to make a name for yourself as a striker, you know, or on any kind of offensive position in Italy, you know. But if you're a defender and you have a good team, you know, you can definitely make a wall there behind in the defense, you know. And Cristiano still scored over 100 goals, which is really impressive, you know. Cristiano can score wherever the hell he is, man, you know. And it's kind of funny because when he went from Real to Juventus, there was like of course the jersey sales skyrocketed, but also the cover for FIFA was changed, you know, because back in FIFA 19 he was on the cover and he was wearing the Real Madrid jersey, and then he was in the exact same position and they just photoshopped the Juventus jersey onto him. It was freaking hilarious, you know. I love that little detail so much, you know. I played so much with Cristiano and Juventus in FIFA 19, man, until they lost the licensing after that, you know. It's freaking annoying as hell. But of course, you know, after we break down all of that, you know, Cristiano still really managed to play really well, you know, for Juventus, you know, because his goals did come in handy, you know, when they won all of their titles and stuff, you know. So I thought it was really cool to share that as well. And, you know, unfortunately, he didn't win the Champions League, but of course, we all know what happened after that, you know. But anyway, so now here's the thing, guys. Before we continue to the next format, which is the international team, I'm going to show you guys a clip here, I'm going to show you guys a goal, or rather, I think what I'm actually going to give you is a series of different goals that he scored for Juventus coming right up. And now we finally get to the most important goals in his career, because now we are going to hit the international stage and talk about Cristiano's goals for Portugal. The Portuguese national team, which he has been representing, is currently the captain of, you know, a career that started back in 2003 when he joined the senior team, you know. He has taken them to 4 different World Cups, you know, got pretty far in one of them, but unfortunately they always fell short, you know. And so Now, with Portugal, he has been moderately successful. He took them to many competitions, but ultimately won just 2 titles, you know, which was the UEFA European Championship in 2016, you know, the UEFA Euro, and also more recently the inaugural UEFA Nations League in 2018-2019. And we're gonna talk about his goals now. You know, when you think about how little Portugal plays, you know, in a calendar year, how less frequently they play in relation to clubs, you know, it's actually staggering that Cristiano has scored 117 goals in 189 matches for them, you know, and he is actually right now the all-time top goal scorer in international soccer above everybody, you know, especially Pele, and even, how do you pronounce this guy's name? Ferenc Puskás, you know, the guy who the Puskás Award is named after for the best goal in a year, you know, so he has risen far and above everybody. And when you break it down, you know, for Portugal, Cristiano has scored 52 goals in 69 appearances in UEFA Euro qualifiers, the actual Euro itself, and other European competitions, you know, so anything involving European international soccer, Cristiano has scored that much, you know. And also, the biggest stage of them all, where he has represented Portugal quite a number of times, 45 goals in 68 World Cup appearances, be that qualifiers and actual World Cup games themselves, you know, so across everything related to the World Cup, he has scored that much. And also, the one that is the least important, but still counts as, you know, statistical categories, you know, he has 20 goals in 52 appearances in international friendlies, so the games that sometimes aren't really worth anything, just stats, you know, because international friendlies are just, the name says it, right? They're friendlies. They're matches that aren't worth anything, sometimes just to get the players in shape, you know, but they do always tally the stats, you know, the goals and assists and stuff, you know, so it counts. So that also contributes to the overall statistics, you know. Cristiano is the best international player in history just in terms of brute force and goals scored, you know, and even games played. So I do believe that Cristiano is on his way to be he has significantly surpassed Eusebio, who played for Portugal way back in the day, you know. And also, you know, if you really stop to think about it, nobody even comes close, because you could just say that he's the best European international player, but honestly, man, given what he's done, you know, as an European, it's just freaking crazy, you know, because we're talking about a guy who has won so many trophies and scored goals in moments that you could barely imagine. And also, I have another thing for you guys here, you know. He actually has the most international appearances by an European, you know, so when you combine everything that he has done with Portugal, you know, he has the most international goals and appearances, you know, and the most records as well. And if he had played in a different country, for example Brazil, where there's a bigger plethora of players, you know, I'm pretty sure he would have shined much more, because if you really stop to think about it, the Portuguese national team really has just him, you know. Who else are you gonna have? Bruno Fernandes, you know. Many years back we had a player named Deco who also played really well, but it's just like Messi in Argentina, you know. The guy is largely by himself, you know, so that's why he has so many goals in clutch moments, you know. I will never forget a game where it was Portugal and Sweden, you know, going for the World Cup, a place in the World Cup, you know, the qualifier. Ibrahimovic scored 2 goals, but Cristiano scored 3, and Portugal won 3-2. That was an insane match. That just showed how much he battled to get Portugal to the World Cup that they would eventually lose in, you know. That is just awesome. And before we move on to what I think will be the best part of this video here, a few more tidbits of info and the final stretch, I'm going to show you guys here a goal that he scored from Portugal. If this is the one that I'll probably be able to get without any copyright, the one that he scored in 2018 against Spain, the third goal that he scored, a free kick. So let's take a look at it right now.
It's Ronaldo. Oh, he's done it! He has only gone and done it! Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational free kick! A brilliant hat-trick! A magnificent game! Portugal 3, Spain 3.
Ooh-wee. Okay, let's wrap this bad boy up, huh? Hopefully the goals that I've been inserting are okay with the copyright. You know, there have been no issues with that, you know. I've been recording for almost a half hour, so let's try to, you know, go towards the finish line here. So here's the thing. In case you guys don't know, Cristiano is primarily right-footed, so he kicks more with his right foot than his left foot, you know, such that 512 of his goals were from his right foot, you know, so that really does explain a lot of his favoritism there, you know. But then again, he is also very dexterous. You know, he can shoot with both feet, and he went on to score 149 goals with his left foot across his career, you know, so he's pretty okay. But then again, I mean, look at the difference, man. It's almost nearly a 400 or so goal difference, you know, 300 or so from both feet there. He's also a very prolific header, you know, because he has headed in 140 goals in his career, you know, and he jumps really high. He is a remarkable athlete, so he pretty much gets them every single time. He can beat defenders up in the air, you know. Trying to guard him is kind of a hassle. One time in his career, he scored a goal with his hip, you know, just one from there. And also one goal, leave that one up there on screen, because he also scored one goal with his private areas. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo once scored a goal with his penis, ladies and gentlemen, because the ball hit him down there and it went in, and that counts as a goal. And just a very strange tidbit of info that I wanted to share with you guys. You know, he scored a goal with his little goal scorer there. But anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up here now. You know, I wanted to give you guys as many stats as possible, so not a traditional player profile per se. This one was a little different, you know, but I still hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, I just wanted to do a little bit of a statistical deep dive, you know, in his career, to show you guys the goals that he scored, because I thought it was gonna be interesting, you know, not just give you guys the same kinds of player profiles over and over again, just talking about the players. You know, I wanted to really go outside of the box here and do something different, which I have. So yeah, I just really hope you guys enjoyed it, because this video is definitely going to be a lot of work to put together, you know, even though I already have the clips and I already know what I'm going to write, but still, just the sheer editing time alone, I think deserves a like and a subscribe, you know, but you guys will be the judge of that, you know. Cristiano is undoubtedly one of the greatest players, if not the greatest of this generation here. You could argue Lionel Messi, but then again, you have to consider that Messi was a phenomenal player just in Barcelona. When he went to PSG, he right now is a shadow of what he used to be, whereas Cristiano is Cristiano no matter where he plays, you know. In every single team that he goes to play in, he is still him. He still scores many goals and wins titles, even though this last season here right now with United was his first trophyless season since 2010, but still, nobody's holding it against him, because he's definitely going to be coming back full force for the next season. You know, that's what everybody's betting on. So yes, man, not just his titles, but the fact that he has more goals and played more games than any other player in history, and is still going strong at 37 years old, by the way. So there's really no sign of stopping anytime soon, and I think that by the time he gets to 40, which he will probably play until then, he'll definitely get to 1,000 goals. Cristiano makes more money outside of the sport than inside, so he still plays because he wants to, you know. I'm pretty sure he wants to keep breaking more and more records, and maybe he'll wait for Messi to retire before he does, you know. Maybe that is what he's waiting for. But I'm pretty sure he can amass another 200 or so goals, man. You know, what the rate that this guy scores, it's freaking crazy. And let's hope that he gives us many more goals to celebrate down the line, right? Anyway, guys, that's it for now. This has been this new format that I'm trying here. I'm going to be maybe doing something similar with Messi, you know, a little bit further down the line. But for now, I'm satisfied with this. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you're a fan of Cristiano, if you've seen him play, you know, what games you've seen him play live. If you like the goals he scored, you know, let's have a little debate down there in the comment section, because I love interacting with you guys. A lot more comments lately, you know, so that's why I've been really enjoying that whole, you know, being a little bit more personal with y'all. It makes me feel good, you know, and know that you guys are actually watching and caring. So anyway, guys, if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel, because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell as well, so you can know exactly what time I upload. And that's it for today, guys. I feel like scoring goals now in FIFA. This is Chazzy signing out for now, wearing my red shirt to symbolize Portugal, although I'm Brazilian. Yeah, signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. I gotta stay traditional here. Roll the outro screen. Can't keep modifying my outro like that, man. It's gonna freaking suck.